Just getting down that last sip before we go live here. You know, I'll be sipping throughout the episode, though. My friends, excuse me. Welcome this morning to Wake Up Legendary. My name is Dave Sharpe. I am your captain and host, and we've got a Swedish couple. I'm going to be third wheeling it with them today because we've got both of them on the show. Please help me welcome Vilma and Edvin. How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, we're great. Thank you.
Did my American pronunciation, was that correct of both of your names? Vilma, Edvin?
Yeah.
It works.
It was fine.
Okay, great. Well, you're calling in from Sweden?
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Very cool. So how in the heck were you attracted to Legendary Marketer and, from Sweden, some crazy American company, learning digital marketing, teaching digital marketing skills. Tell us how you got started and how do we have the privilege of talking to both of you today? Did one of you rein the other one in, or did you both decide to get started at the same time?
I guess I could start the story.
Yeah.
It actually started last year, about exactly a year ago. I was just scrolling on TikTok, trying to find a way to make money online because I was, like many others, just tired of my job. And I wanted to become my own boss, but it was mostly drop shipping videos. So it was kind of hard for me because I didn't really understand how I was supposed to start.
Yeah.
So I kind of just stopped searching for it. I just kind of put it onto the side for a few months, and then we met. So we've actually just been together for a year in December.
Congratulations. Oh, well, in December. No front on that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what happened when you met Edvin? Did he suck you back into the entrepreneur world?
No, we didn't talk about that for at least 5 months or something. I was listening to a podcast at work because I kept working at my job. I'm still working there. And she is an entrepreneur, and she just made me really excited about it again. So I went home and I told Edvin that I want to become my own boss and I want to have my own company. I want to do something. And he said, me too. We had never talked about it, but we had the same thoughts and dreams.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
I had basically like the same thoughts at this part of last year as well. I was thinking on print on demand, drop shipping, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was in a bit of a rut and I didn't know what to do really, and thought, I have a pretty good normal job. So I thought, it works, and I put it to the side as well.
we were comfortable. Basically. But then we started seeing videos on TikTok. Victoria, she's from Sweden. She's been on the show before.
Yeah.
She's promoting you. So I started watching her videos and I was like, maybe we should try this. And then I was like, let's click on the link. Let's see what it is. And he was like, oh, she's just promoting a course or something. I was like, oh, but just let's see what it is. And it was a course, of course. And I was like, maybe we could just try it out. It's not that expensive. But he was really skeptic about it. He's like, no, we can learn from YouTube. We don't have to buy a course. And so I had to try to convince him that it was going to be a good idea. But I bought it. I didn't tell him about it first. I just bought it because no, fuck this, I'm going to do it. And then I told him and he was like, okay, fine, but this is your thing. So
I love the real truth.
Yeah. And when I had booked my first meeting with my business plan advisor, I was really nervous and I almost freaked out. I was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm going to speak English. Oh my God. So I forced him to come with me to this meeting. I was like, you're going to have to be with me because what if I can't talk? And he was hooked. During that meeting, we were talking to Pierre and he was really great. So yeah, we got him hooked on it. So.
Wow.
And since then we've been doing this together. So
Yeah.
I think I rewatched like the first and second day of the challenge, and then we just did it together.
Yeah. So what was that experience like, doing, it's not that common, that two people are on the exact same page, in the same relationship, in the same house. You know what I mean? My wife and I have figured out a way to work together, but not on the same things inside of this business. And so, that's a real cool thing. What happened next?
Yeah, so we had the call with Pierre, our advisor, talked about the blueprints and all of that. We both, mostly I was skeptic, but yeah, we figured out, let's do it. We want this. So we went through that course, like halfway, I think, and then we felt like,
We got this.
we got this. And then we just started posting on TikTok.
We were actually a little bit unsure at first what we were gonna do, or how we were gonna start. But I was listening to Wake Up Legendary every single day at work, and I was listening to the episode with the wealth couple with Brew and Donnie, I think, and I was like, maybe we could do that, like a couples thing. So that's how we got the idea to start posting as a couple.
Yeah.
And it has been great. It has some challenges, of course.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time together and like do business together.
Yeah.
But I think it works if you like can balance it correctly and like do what you're good at.
Yeah.
And complement each other.
Yeah, just support each other during the journey.
There's a lot of unique content that is being created by couples right now online. The short form video type content, mainly skits. You see these kind of videos that are, it's clearly just a young couple or a couple, right? It doesn't even have to be a young couple. All ages of people and couples, and they're not monetizing, so they're not promoting a product. Mostly what people are doing is just doing it for fun, just trying to go viral, right? Which isn't a totally bad thing, to just do some videos on your on any page that is not to sell. I mean, if you look at this page right here, that we're on, this particular Facebook page, like, if you get people, like, my whole strategy for Wake Up Legendary is just make the content so valuable that people want to search it. Like, I don't have to hard pitch them. So with these skits, I think if you know what you're doing, and you do, and you mix in some of these these skits that have the potential, like, we've had a couple of other people on the show talk about like doing skits and stuff like that, doing kind of couples content. And I'm not saying that you guys are even doing skits. I'm just saying this is what I've seen some people out there doing. And man, the content just works. Like, obviously you got to find your groove, and you got to, do a few, but they don't have to be perfect. And people are just consuming the crap out of this content. I mean, silly little 10-15 second skits between couples where they're just in their bathroom together. And again, not even business related, not even promoting anything, but just people are starting to see the power of just how they can take a cell phone and a free app like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, and just do, like, you don't have to be in Hollywood to be an actor and then eventually make money off of content and so forth. So for a lot of these people, I think their strategy is just, hey, I'm going to just try to go viral and maybe I'll make some money somewhere. You guys have more strategy, but I'm just kind of excited about the fact that you guys, yes, it's a challenge to be a couple and to work. I'm sure there's all kinds of different and unique challenges. And there's also a lot of potential, and it's always about finding what the potential is and avoiding the conflicts. So what else, what have you both found that has been helpful within your business, how you're working it? What's working between you two? What roles are you two playing? Are you starting to figure out your strengths and your weaknesses?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of the like technical stuff, yeah, the funnels and yeah, accounts and all of that.
Yeah.
And I do, yeah, lately I've been doing like more TikToks. But then I think I do a lot of the responding on the DMs and mails and stuff like that, and I'm writing the emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vilma is doing, yeah, a lot of TikToks, also responding to DMs.
Mm.
So yeah, that has been working quite well.
Yeah.
And she is better at finding ideas than me. So that's also a thing.
Yeah, we're helping
She
each
more
other.
creative? Does she, would you consider yourself more analytical or kind of and she's the more kind of creative idea person? Is that kind of how you would explain yourself, or would you explain it differently?
Yeah, I think so. In this field, at least, I am quite
Yeah,
creative person,
sure.
but,
And I don't mean that you're not. I don't mean that you're not. But
yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
on
uh,
film, you know, some people are really charismatic on film. They do better on film with just their personality kind of, and then if you don't, you have to find content that also works within your personality too.
yeah,
You know, I think the biggest, and that's the content that does the most, the best. I found this lady, actually, my wife found her. Her name's Peaceful Barb, and I'm going to try to have her on the show if I can. But I think she's like a therapist or something like that. And she talks about just simple little ways to do self-care, self-love, avoid toxic people. And she just comes across, just the delivery is so slow and boring, but it's loving. And
mm,
when you're watching the content, it fits so perfectly. Whereas if she was trying to, hey, I'm Peaceful Barb, how you guys doing? And deliver it in some kind of like a personality way.
yeah.
So, what comes up for you in your journey of writing emails or creating content or whatever? How are you finding your own individual voice? Both of you, or your individual style, right? Have you tried some things and you're like, ooh, hey, I'm not being myself, I'm trying to be like somebody else. Like, I think it's scary because
Yeah,
of rejection, right?
yeah.
But it takes, so what is that like for you, trying to find your own style and find your own voice?
We're trying a lot of different type of videos, mostly. Just finding someone that we like and just trying to make the same, but we make it a bit more personal, of course. But usually, when I'm searching for content inspiration, I'm looking for somebody that I resonate with, like that I feel, oh, I could do something like that. Feels like something I would do. It doesn't feel fake. So I'm just looking at what everybody else is doing and just trying to make it as personal as possible. And just I feel it comes more natural to me
Mm,
when I do that.
yeah.
So
For me, I think I like the kind of videos where I give tips, like tips and tricks. You do this, do that to make money. Um, and also like the skit videos, the more funny ones. That also works for me. I think that resonates the most with my personality. I'm quite funny, but I'm also like quite like boring, analytic, and like the technical stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that has been working for me quite well.
Yeah, and it's finding content that fits within that sort of comfort zone, right? Because
Yeah,
it's kind of like Warren Buffett. He says, people say, "Well, why are you so rich?" He's like, "Well, because I never got outside of my circle of competency." And
mm,
that means that, you know, when crypto came along, I didn't understand it, so I didn't invest in it, or tech, right?
mm,
tech came along and I didn't really understand, so I didn't really go there. I stayed in like financials, banking, insurance. So there's also, I think, with our work here, it's about figuring out like, what is my circle of competency? What is my circle of confidence? Where do I feel like the actions that I take are going to produce the biggest result? And let me just do that. And it's like, for each one of us, probably 80 to 90% of stuff that we do every day is worthless bullshit. It's not going to produce a result. A lot of it is just fiddling, finicking, avoiding, procrastinating. And it just, we are masters of deception to ourselves.
Yeah.
So and then we get in, angry, or I'm working so hard, and this, I'm not getting, it's like, well, but you're just doing avoidant work. You know what I mean? So how have you both realized what matters and what doesn't, or what does that journey look like for you?
I find that the things that I'm scared to do, that I feel really like nervous to do, is the things that I'm gonna grow as a person when I'm doing it. So I feel like every time I feel like that, I know that I have to do it, because I know it's gonna help me grow, and it's gonna help us expand.
Yeah. It's a good question. Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. There's no right or wrong answer, and there's no, this is not an interview. This is a show of humanity, and a show of what it really is like to be an entrepreneur, and be real, live, in the moment, thinking about things, and coming up with ideas.
Yeah. I think something that's really important if you want to grow and like do stuff that's worthwhile is not like listening to other people and just like doing it.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought I would see myself on TikTok, and here I am.
Yeah.
Like making content that gets like 100,000s of views. And yeah,
we were so scared in the beginning. We were just worried about what our friends and the people that we know. We live in a really small town, so we're like, when people see us, they're gonna see us. So
yeah,
we were a bit scared about that. But after we posted about 3-4 videos, we were like, oh, fuck that, we don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, this is what we're doing now, so they're just gonna have to do that.
What helped you to say, ah, fuck that?
Just I guess my the passion that I have, that we have for this, and that we saw that this is the way to reach our goals and dreams, and that's the only thing that matters in the end, what you want. And you shouldn't care about what other people think about it, because this is your life, and you're the one who needs to live that life, and you shouldn't care about if somebody has something to say. It's just, that's their opinion, you don't have to care about that. So that's kind of the mindset that we were talking a lot about it in the beginning. When the other person felt a bit scared or something to do something, we were like, no, it's okay, this is your life, you want to do this, you do this.
Like you said, and I've said like quite a few times, that people that don't pay your bills shouldn't have an effect on your life. And I think more people should live by that.
They don't pay bills, and we let them live rent free in our head.
And they have no place to be there.
They're just dominating our space.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's so real. It's so real. And don't you still struggle with it? I do. I still struggle with it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I still got friends and family, and I mean, it's just navigating life, man. It's navigating life. I don't want, now you want to talk about like a new problem. Like, a new problem is when you've become pretty successful, you know what I mean? And you've got a pretty good life, and not, you know, like my wife and I don't want to make our friends who have not been as financially successful feel like we think we're better or they're less than. You know what I mean? So like the challenge, so in a way, you know, it's almost like the more, and of course we don't have to care about that. That's just what's important to my wife and I. What's important to my wife and I is that our kids still have some sort of a normal life. You know what I mean? To where they, you know, our work life and our success doesn't dominate their childhood. That's what's important to us. They have a childhood. Um, you know, but it's just new problems, and I think that it's like if we can look at it from that's a helpful perspective for me to look at, because it's not like I'm ever going to be problem free. Like, and even if I decide to just stay as a good little boy, get my good little grades, get doing my good little job, no, not threatening anybody else's dreams or you know, because I'm doing too much. You know, if I'm just staying in my lane and everybody's comfortable around me, I'm going to have a different set of problems that I'm going to have to deal with if I choose that route. And a lot of those problems will probably be some resentment, you know, which is like eating poison, expecting somebody else to die. That's what resentment is, you know, and regret, you know, you know, and just, you know, a whole litany of other things that come. It is hard to be poor. That's what I think. It's hard to drive a shitty car. I drove a shitty ass car for a long ass time. Long ass time. I mean, it's hard, it's cold, and it's hot because you don't have any AC or you don't have any heat, or you know what I mean? So it's kind of like at the end, we choose our hard. Are we gonna, you know, you choose your hard, because nothing's easy. It's all gonna be hard. And it's like, yeah, am I going to choose a hard that's going to honor me and what I want, or am I going to choose a hard that's going to honor everybody else?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I understand.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
completely agree.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
that's so true.
a lot of the prior problems and thoughts have like disappeared or like resolved with beginning, like starting this. But yeah, new problems arrive, and like life is full of problems. But I rather have problems from like succeeding in life and doing what I want than like being miserable not doing what I want. So
yeah. So like I had, and I realize occasionally my luxury problems. Like I had, like, you know, put all this money away, saved over the years in investment stocks and shit like that, and but realized how much fees I was paying. I didn't realize. I was like, holy shit. And so I was like, damn, you know, I'm going to learn about all this myself, you know, about index funds and ETFs and all that. And I'm going to transfer this over. I'm going to sell it. So this was a big thing. I finally, I emailed him, and I have a good relationship with the guy, but I said, all right, we're to a point now to where I can't pay these fees anymore, dog. Especially in a bear market, you know what I mean? And so anyways, we sold it all, and I'm sitting with a pile of cash, right? And I was stressed out, you know what I mean? Because I was like, do I dollar cost average this over the next year? Do I just lump sum investment? You know, and so I had to do the research myself, and I had to come up with my own decision. But it was interesting because I was sweating, pacing around. You know, I was nervous. And I can remember when I was starting in this business back in 2009, having similar feelings about how I was going to pay my half of the rent. You know what I mean? With my wife, my then girlfriend, you know, so it's almost like the situations change, but the feelings stay the same. So what's the most important thing for us to do? Learn how to deal with the feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that's super important. Like I have been needing to like work a lot with my emotional feelings to do this, and like in our relationships.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's something people look over and skip, and that's probably one of the most important things is to like be able to control and
work on your mindset always.
and your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different. Mindset and emotions are different, but they feel the same, and it's really just our inner world and our ability to be able to kind of regulate our thoughts and emotions. Just allow them to happen, but not react or act on them, because you can't stop thoughts from happening and you can't stop emotions from happening. But the majority of us try to. We try to stop feeling. We try to, and because of all of that fighting and conflict within ourselves, we usually end up reacting to something else or someone else, taking that out on them. This is a great tip for your marriage, and it's a great conversation for your marriage and your business, as it is for me too. But realizing as a man, as a person, that and I would assume all genders, everybody feels the same way, has feelings, that when us that I have to understand that going into this, I'm going to have thousands of thoughts a day, and I'm going to have a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And I need to have, I need to know that going in, and I need to have healthy coping mechanisms to be able to process those emotions, talk about those emotions, and not need to really act on them, not need to do anything, but just kind of process them. Because when you guys are, you two particularly, and anybody else you're starting two big things, a new relationship and a new business. You two are doing a lot right now, early.
Yeah.
And so it's this is one piece that I overlooked and didn't understand as much when I was early in my relationship, in my business, and as a result almost blew up my marriage, because of just putting all the focus on the business and the result, and not kind of not feeling my feelings and not processing them in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think there was this thought that me as a man, I had to not feel, never struggle anything. But the truth is that marriage and business, and I think parenthood are the hardest things you'll ever do.
Yeah.
They're the hardest thing. So it's okay to struggle through them. You're supposed to have feelings of frustration, anger, overwhelm. And it's about processing those feelings. What does processing mean? Talking about them, saying that you're actually angry instead of saying you're fine, or saying that you're overwhelmed instead of saying that you're fine. Processing them, and then saying, whoop, time out. I need to go do something for myself. Whether that's take a walk, take a shower, go work out, so I can cope with this feeling that I'm having in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And not take it out on you, not go and drink myself to numbness or whatever, but process the feeling in a healthy way so I can come back to my work with a clear head. I can come back to my marriage. What comes up for you as I'm talking about these things? And this is just an old dog. I feel like a grandpa. I'm like, let me tell you how I'm almost 5 times, but it's true. And I think it's particularly difficult for men to grasp this concept. I know it was for me. And women do it pretty well. Women can process through their emotions a lot easier, it seems, some of them. But me, as a man, sometimes I get scared when people are feeling feelings around me. So I just wonder how, what comes up for you, and what are some of the things that you all are doing right now to be spending so much time around each other with new stuff, new emotions, big feelings, all this. What are some of the things that you're doing to be able to stay sane and not, be committing any homicides or suicides there within the household, but you seem to actually be close to each other and still liking each other. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. For me, I totally agree. I think I have always been quite emotional as a person, probably more emotional than most other men. But I've not been good like coping with my emotions, like just showing them and not processing. So that's something I've been working on, like reading stuff, like books, listening to podcasts. That helps. And we both meditate quite a lot, and I think that works.
Mm,
Yeah.
good for you.
So
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
How
and
about
we
you, Vilma?
yeah, I've always been really passionate about self-development and feelings and psychology overall. And but it wasn't until recently I really started taking it seriously because I had to. Uh, since he's very emotional, so am I. So we both have to be controlling ourselves when things are heated,
Sure.
because we both can get quite intense with our emotions sometimes, and we're very stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
And we both, when we want something, none of us wants to stop until we get it. So
Nobody wants to surrender, right?
yeah, that's that's kind of difficult sometimes, but we're doing a lot of mindset stuff. So just meditating, I'm doing yoga, we're going to the gym, just trying to stay healthy, because when
And
we
grounded.
yeah, grounded, yeah.
Great. These are powerful simple little things,
Yeah.
and just to be aware of them, that they're going on or can go on, and to be, I think business is about learning how to, um, as Warren Buffett says, not to make this whole episode about him, but he says, delight the customer. And it's like, I need to really learn how to delight people in general. I need to learn how to delight my wife. I need to learn how to delight my kids. I need to learn how to delight people around me. I need to learn how to have boundaries and all that. But a lot of I feel like leadership development and stuff is about learning how to coexist with people
Yeah.
and to be able to, not even if they have different beliefs, or like when we're online, marketing is all about convincing skeptical people, right?
Yeah.
And the challenge is that a lot of times us entrepreneurs, because we just think it's all about, like it's all about business, 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 business. But, you know, and sales is just about, making the calls and get, pressuring people into it. But it's never about that. It's about delighting people. It's about delighting people with you know uh everywhere I go, delighting my customers, delighting the people around me. And oddly enough, when I figure out how to do that, I really win. In the way that I've been able to do that is um, by working on my demeanor, by working on my emotional health,
Yeah.
right? Working on my mindset, because the truth is, as we get older, we get physically more frail. I mean, I still work out, I'm still strong, but I'm less strong than I was when I was 29.
Mm.
And so, but the power is we can grow to become emotionally stronger,
Yeah.
and our leadership can become emotionally stronger, and our communication emotionally stronger. And so, you two are doing a lot of things together, but it's total full immersion in, uh, development, both your marketing skills and business skills, but also your personal skills and your emotional skills, because what you're doing is not easy. And for all of you who are sitting at home who are doing a business, and you have a spouse that's not in the business, or you're just doing it by yourself, that's hard too.
Yeah.
You have to figure out how to delight that person who may not understand what you're doing, and you may not feel supported by them, but you still have to fit. In order to get their support, you first have to support them. And
Yeah.
that's where, what I didn't realize for so many years, how I eventually sucked my wife in, was I said, look, I stopped trying to get her to support me and being mad that she didn't. And I said, look, I started doing things like this. Hey, I'm going to be working a little extra over the next couple of weeks because I got a big presentation I need to finish. How can I make you feel loved and supported when because I might be a little less available? And so that was an example of delighting her in prompting service and goodwill, which in turn made her want to support me. And I wasn't resentful, nor was she, because I took the initiative to, instead of, be mad she wasn't doing what I wanted her to do, supporting me, I went ahead and said, how can I support you? And that was a sign of my emotional maturity, within my business and in my marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like that's why both business and relationships are very hard, because it's quite easy just being in your own bubble and like not giving a single about anyone else. But both in business and in a relationship, you have to like take the other person into account and like
include each other.
Yeah, and provide value.
Yeah, all the things we learn as marketers, right? It's like provide value, you know. It's like, yeah, the value that we provide as spouses. And I challenge each one of you who has a spouse or something who's not doing this, to instead of expect them to support you, you step up and you ask them, I'm doing a new business. I'm doing something new that's adding or taking me away maybe. How can I make you feel loved and supported as I'm over here chasing this dream? It's just a big shift in how we view things, and it changes the whole dynamic in the house. It does. It just changes the dynamic. And I know one thing for certain: when I'm in conflict with my wife, man, you know, I'm not as focused as I can be if I'm not in conflict with her. And that's why I like strategies that create harmony, you know, within that important relationship. What else is working or not working for you all, whether it be, you know, how you're coping with your emotions or what you're doing in your business and with your content? Anything else you feel like you want to hit on or share with the audience, you know, by the end of the show that we make sure we tackle?
I can say one thing. If you're not going to the gym, go to the gym. I've not been training for like 3-4 years, and I'm not doing it because I want to get physically stronger, but mentally stronger. And it works. So like, take care of your mental health. That's one thing. I if you should start somewhere, start there, and go from there. Regarding like any business you want to do, but you have to be in the right place to succeed.
And I want to say that if you go with the mindset that as long as I give something, I will always receive something better back. We actually got that proven to us a couple of weeks ago. When we were just moving to this apartment, and I was giving away my bed for free to this lady, and I wasn't expecting anything. I was just come pick it up. And she was so grateful. She was like, this is so great. Thank you so much. Here's a bottle of champagne as a thank you. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. And that just made me think about that so much more. We both thought about it a lot, that every time we do something that is so unselfish, we just do it for somebody else, you always get something in return for it. So that brings a lot of value. So if you can bring a lot of value to your customers, and you're just going to get so much back.
I totally agree. And like, I see that as well. Like when we have conversation on the DMs or on mail or something, people just ask questions. Like that takes a lot of time to answer, and we give them a lot of value for free, but it gets us something back as well, because like, many times it converts. But you have to be unselfish at first to get that.
So are you all producing all your content in English, or are you producing it in Swedish?
We're doing it in Swedish.
Okay.
So that's kind of a challenge.
We didn't expect it it's going really well for us. So, but we didn't expect that, obviously. No one does. But Swedish people are quite skeptical towards new things. We have noticed. So it's quite hard to do good marketing that makes Swedish people believe in you and trust you. So we're working a lot on that.
Is there a reason why you didn't why you're not also doing content and marketing in English?
I think we listened to that podcast with Victoria that was on this show, and she said, yeah, they talked about doing it in like the native language.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, like, yeah, maybe we can try. If it doesn't work, we do it in English. And
Yeah.
so we just went from there, and it took off. So we haven't seen a need to do it in English. And also the market here in Sweden is quite small.
Yeah.
We have,
It's not a lot of competition.
yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I asked is because it one additional for you who has this, you know, I mean, you both speak 2 languages at least, right? You know, if you one way to potentially just double business is to just create everything that you're already creating in Swedish also in English on a separate, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's 2 different, it's not like it's 2, you're thinking of 2 different ideas. It's all just a translation thing. And of course the video content would need to be recorded twice, but anything that's written is just,
Yeah,
I mean, I think there's software out there, if not Google Translate, that will just translate all your emails and everything and all your content, I think, right inside of a Google Doc. I don't work.
Yeah, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, really great idea.
I'm just look, it's not about overwhelming and trying to do too much if you don't need to do too much. But I'm personally curious how your content would do in the English market. You know, just the same exact stuff.
Yeah.
Even if the first step is just to take the same exact videos that you're already doing and just do them on a completely different profile. The other thing that it does for you is it gives you a little bit of diversification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something like we've been thinking about as well, because
we thought about starting a YouTube channel, and we said that we were going to talk English if we did that.
Yeah, and do more long form content.
Yeah, I mean, sure, all those things are great, and my favorite way to do content in marketing is to try to get the most bang for my buck. And I think the number one mistake that we all make right now, that we're all making right now, is that we're not utilizing the content that we have to its maximum potential. Like every single video that you create is it's like an episode of a TV show that can be watched over and over again, like a TV show on Netflix or anything else. I mean, that content, if you think about it, think about one of your favorite shows. For me, like The Simpsons or something from when I was a kid or whatever, Seinfeld, or these are all American classic shows that people are still watching them to this day. Right. And so all of the content that we create is that same way, can be reused, can be repurposed. And the idea that I had, of course, with you guys was, you know, if you're creating, if any of you are dual language, if you, there's an option to take the same exact thing you're doing and do it in a different language. What we do, for example, with this show is do it live one time, then post it. It lives on this page, post it on YouTube. Strip the audio, put it on a podcast, strip the translation, put it on a put it on a blog post, right? And then take little snippets, which is more work, right? To edit out snippets and put it in short form video. But my point is that even our company strategy is to get the most from one piece of content or from one single idea. So it's I think the biggest mental roadblock to that is, oh, I'm posting the same thing too much. People are getting tired of it or whatever. And I don't want to email too much. I don't want to bother people. Whenever you feel like that, you should do the thing that you're afraid of doing twice.
Yeah.
It's your own feelings that you're kind of projecting on because it's new or you don't want to bother anybody, but it's like you can never do too much. So what comes up for you about the repurposing thing and just kind of getting the most bang for your buck from each and everything that you do? Repurposing content, etc.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and I think we have thought about it, but like not done anything with it. It's not a lot of work, so that's maybe something we should do. And also that like reusing and reposting videos, I think is, as you said, it's just like a mental roadblock. You think like, yeah, I'm unoriginal, I'm lazy.
People have already seen that too much.
Yeah, but it's probably just new audience.
Yeah.
So
always
it's in here.
Well, the ultimate goal that you're trying to do is create familiarity. All right. So it's about it. Part of it is about frequency. You understand? It's not one and done. Part of it is about frequency, consistency, which creates trust. And it's one of the reasons why modern day TV hosts like Oprah have become icons, is because people trusted her, because not only did they trust her as a person, but there was trust built into the fact that the show was on the same day at the same time every day, with the same format, with the same theme. So you could just sit down with your little cup of tea or whatever you had there, and just, you knew exactly what you were going to get.
Yeah.
And you totally trusted that. And so you totally trusted Oprah. And part of that, again, is about the frequency. We do it here with the show. Same. I wear the same thing. It's about frequency, consistency, right? It's about the more I see somebody, the more that I listen to somebody. They don't even have to, in some respects, if you think deeply into the psychological rabbit hole of even people who are abusers, cult leaders, etc., because of frequency and consistency, create a trauma bond with people. So, obviously we're doing good in the world, and in order for us to do the maximum amount of good, there has to be a certain frequency in which the people are being exposed to you via email, via social media videos, etc.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree. And we see that with people as well, because like people write to us and I've seen you for a month now.
I've seen your videos a couple of times.
Yeah, and I'm curious, can you tell me more? So yeah, the frequency and like building trust in time is really true. And
it's powerful, and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. That's the thing that's so kind of sneaky about it, is that you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, but the trust is being built, the consistency is being built, and you're in a rush to make a sale. But see, the person is not in a rush to buy. They're going to buy when they feel ready and comfortable to buy, and if you get frustrated too soon or you give up, well, you quit. That's what I call quitting before the miracle happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we thought a lot about that, actually, that there's a lot of people, because we did the same. I was watching some of these videos a couple of weeks before I purchased anything. So I'm just trying to think about that all the time, that even though we don't see results for a few days, I know that it's going to come if we stay consistent with the content and all that. So just trying to keep that in mind all the time, that it's coming. No need to rush anything.
And I also think like people in like, especially nowadays, and like young people are so like dopamine addicts. Like to be able to tell yourself that the good will come, just put in the work now and the good will come. It maybe comes in 3 weeks, 4 months, 1 year. But to find that power within yourself, like that is really, really, really important, I think. Because like for us, example, we posted videos for like 2-3 weeks, didn't see anything. Or at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But we trusted ourselves and trusted the process. It will come.
Yeah, we just knew that it will happen if we never give up.
So
yeah, and I want to address those of you who have tried lots of things over lots of years, and this is probably not you two because you're young and it seems like you're fairly new to at least the entrepreneurial world, and you're just new in life, right? You're in your 20s, right?
Yeah. I'm 21.
Did you say 21?
Yeah.
God bless you, brother. What the fuck? God bless you, man.
Thank you.
Seriously, dude. I mean, you got your whole life in front of you. I'm just, hold on a second. I got two, I'm always hot, bro. Okay. It's for you. And your princess doesn't look like she's that far ahead of you either. So I think you two got a lot of life ahead of you.
I'm 23, so I'm actually 2 years older than him.
Okay, well, robbing the cradle over there, I see. But for those, I wanted to say, for those of you on this Friday, something to kind of dwell on. For there's a lot of us who have done a lot of things. We're a little older. We've done a lot of things, and we come and stumble onto Legendary, and we think that Legendary is going to be the, some sort of a miracle. Or it's going to, because there's so many people who we showcase every day and who are successful, that you're just automatically going to be successful, or you're just, it's for some of you, you really have to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? And it's not the system. It's not the thing that you're doing. It's not the business. You're the common denominator in everything that you do. And until it's also usually not the mechanics of even what you're doing. It's the dynamics. It's so much more than just where do I point and click, or if I just keep posting videos, I'm gonna get results. It's not that simple. There's one of the hardest things to own is that it's my fault. I need to change. I need to grow. And I'm the common denominator in all of my failures or all of my struggles. People who are on their 5th divorce, and just, you talk to them and they've got nothing but negative things to say about all 5 ex-wives. And it's like, but you're the common denominator. You're the common, those 5 wives didn't know each other, but you knew each one of them. And I think for some of us, we'll never get it. I know grown adults in their 60s and 70s who will never take any personal ownership, and who will never, just always kind of feel victim-y, always kind of just feel like nobody understands them, or why can't I succeed? And I just, results are not guaranteed here. Results are not guaranteed here. Results are not guaranteed anywhere. The majority of people get started with this and quit. The same way that the majority of people get started in the gym and quit. It has nothing to do with the training. It has nothing to do with the business model. It has to do with who you are as a person. And for many of you, you're creating content and it's not taking off, or you're just like, oh, I'll just post videos for another year. And it's like, but the truth is that your content is not landing with the audience. You need to change. They don't need to change. The business model doesn't need to change. You need to change. And that's a hard truth to swallow. And nobody will tell you that out on the internet, because they want to sell you something. And look, we have things to sell here too, but I'm saying this on the free show that you don't have to pay to attend. And I have a similar song all the time, which is, this shit really does take work. And it's not guaranteed that if you just post some videos on social media that you're going to have, that you're entitled to any sort of result, or that, if you get frustrated at me or us or TikTok or whatever, it's like,
Yeah.
What does that do? You know, so the reason why I'm saying that is because occasionally, you know, I think it's really important to just, in a super sobering way, remind everybody who's listening that this is not there. There is no magic formula. There's no magic guru. There's no magic mentor. And the number one thing that will make you successful in everything you do is taking total ruthless personal responsibility. And whenever something's not going the way that you want it, and you feel like you want to blame or you feel like you want to complain, instead, what can I do? What can I change? How did I impact? What was my part? One of the most valuable things that I learned in 12-step recovery, getting sober from heroin and learning to change my life, was to ask the simple question, what part do I play? Forget everybody else. Forget everything else. But what part am I playing? Not what are they doing? I did the same thing they did and I didn't get the result. No. What is my part? Well, she didn't understand me. She's negative. She's this, my spouse. What part am I playing in this? And that's the only thing that's any of my business, even like in my personal relationship, what part I play, you know, and the people who that's the greatest gift I was ever given, was ever taught by anybody. And it happened to just be from a bunch of drunks and junkies. But the greatest gift, man, that I ever taught was to ask myself, what part do I play? And is my side of the street clean? Have I done everything? Have I gone through, tried? I know the effort I put in. I know what I really do. I know if I'm really facing fears. I know if I'm really getting uncomfortable, right? But it's easy to get on the internet and complain or write something out. But I know. And that's the kind of journey of like real self-honesty that I want to invite everybody to go on leading into the weekend, because results are not guaranteed. And as a matter of fact, the majority of people who buy any how-to information on the internet don't use it.
Oh.
The same way that majority of people who buy a gym membership don't use it. Majority of people who buy self-help books, they just sit on the toilet or on the shelf, because we all want change, but we don't want to change.
Exactly.
What comes up for you as I'm ranting a bit about this?
I think personally,
I know it's not like, hey, whoop-de-doo, but man,
no, but I think
this is at least what's real for me.
Yeah, and I think we both totally agree.
Yeah, we really agree with that.
We wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't adopt that mindset.
Yeah.
Like I was that person, like blaming everyone else, blaming her for stuff that like was my problems. And yeah, it doesn't work. Nothing works if you have that mindset. Like I think 99% of everything that goes wrong in your life is probably your own fault.
Yeah.
Unless you get like T-boned by a car running a red light.
Unless you were born into abuse your childhood is not your responsibility. And
No.
I always give everybody a pass in their childhood, but adulthood, absolutely. I agree with that statement 1000%.
I think like childhood is like really impactful. Like if you have a shitty childhood, you have a lot of,
You're gonna have to deal with a lot of trauma.
Yeah, you must take a lot of
you're gonna have to grow more as an adult.
Like I had an addictive father. He got out of heroin addiction just like you, like after I was born. And so I think that has put like quite a lot of like trauma in my head.
Absolutely.
I have probably not processed that until like now in my 20s.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I didn't process it until my 30s, brother. So I mean, you know, it's amazing that you have even a little bit of awareness of how childhood may be showing up in your business or in your relationships now. And I encourage you to keep digging. Keep digging in that area, because you'd be amazed by what you'll find and some of the shackles that you'll set yourself free from.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys are on a great path and you're on a great trajectory. It's really exciting to watch, and I'm really happy. And both of you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, but see, that doesn't matter. What matters is you should be proud of it is if you are proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
And this journey gives us the opportunity to be able to build some self-confidence, build some esteem, so we can equip ourselves to be able to go in other areas of our life. If you wanted to go do some digging and in grow as a person more over here, it helps to have had some wins over in this area. It helps to have had some wins, and everything matters. And that's why they say there's no destination. It's all a journey. So congrats to both of you for starting the journey and being on an amazing journey. And please come back and do a second episode with me here in the near future. And I know it's late over there too, isn't it? Right now?
5 o'clock, I think.
5. Okay, cool. So
But it's like black outside.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Do you all do daylight savings time over there?
Yeah.
You do. Isn't that stupid?
And yes, yeah, a bit stupid. And like Sweden is so far north, so like we have 6 hours of sunlight in winter, and like in summer the sun goes up at like 3 o'clock at night and goes down at 12 o'clock at night. So then it's sun all the time instead.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is weird. That would be freaking me out, man. I would be freaking out.
Yeah. So like we get to work when it's dark and we get out of work when it's dark. So like that's why we want to do this so we can have sun.
Vampires, man. Yeah, you guys are vampires. You need to come down here to Florida.
Yeah.
Get you a good night's sleep and a nice light day, a full day out here. Get down closer to the equator.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you guys have been a pleasure. Happy Friday to you. Have a great weekend, okay? And come back and see us again in the near future, all right?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you, Edgar. All right.
Yeah.
See you, Edvin. See you, Vilma. All right, my friends. Wow, what a great conversation. Edvin and Vilma are able to be found over on TikTok and Instagram at Pengar Online, but that's PENGAR 0. Is that correct? Let me bring them back on. Is that how to spell that? PENGAR 0.
Yeah.
Pengar means money. And online is online, but the online was taken. So like it was a 0.
Okay. All right, cool. So we got it. We got the correct spelling here. You guys take care. It's PENGAR 0 NLINE. Pengar Online. And the O is a 0. All right, my friends. They are an impressive couple. And thank you all for your time today, spending time with us, learning, listening. Have a great weekend. Go back. There were some excellent episodes and shows this week that you can go back and review if you want to, and catch us on Monday for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Peace.